This is Justin AMZN on Monday, November 12th, 2018, and getting a little bit of a sell-off pre-market, and then a little retest or a little bit of a recovery, but we're still below Friday's low. It's really interesting, the level, because I remember saying we needed to stay above 1700 for this to continue, and we are clearly below pre-market. So what's really crazy here is the first 5 minutes. It ran up, stayed below this line, actually came back up into pretty much the after hours low from Friday, and reversed. And I was trying to actually buy puts right here in the virtual account, and there was an issue with it filling the order. I'm not even sure why it didn't work, but it Amazon just collapsed from here, just dropped, and engulfed all of this, pretty much all of this from pre-market, and then continued on lower. Easily came into 1665, which would have been a great place to take some profits, and chopped around in here, and then continued lower, retested, and just then finally continued lower again. All the while staying right in line with the five period exponential, and started to get a little bit extended here, and came back into it, went sideways, there we go, comes back up. Now this, I want you to see this pattern here, because I thought this was really interesting. We did kind of this double bottom thing here with this wick, and then proceeded to bounce, rolled back down, put in a low, a little bit of a higher low. Looks like anybody who's looking to buy here and waited may have missed it. But wait, what happens? We get, oh, was it not right there? We get a little bit of a wick down. I thought it was a better wick. Yeah, it was that. Or was this one? I think it was that one. All right, well, that's the day. So this was interesting to me, that we did a double bottom with a wick like this, and did another one here with a lower wick. I thought this was more of a wick from when I saw it play out. Maybe I was looking at the option. But anyway, this was a great place to be buying. The option price was really similar, and it happened again. It repeated. And I'm not sure. Let's see. I got the 17. That's what it was. I was looking at the 1700 call, and I saw this wick making. So we made a low of 1180. We made a wick here with a low of 1237. Then we made another low here around 12. Then we had a wick here of 1244. And somebody could have been buying anywhere in here. I mean, you saw this form, and then you could have been buying like 1250 by 1150. That would have worked nicely. And then you could have bought again 1250 by 1150. That would have worked to here. And then you would have had a second opportunity right here, just 7 cents off of this low. I just thought that was really interesting. Similar style candles, the long lower wick, and they just rallied, and rallied to a very similar point, just under 18 here and just above 18 here. So really, you could have been getting in 1250 by 1150 and held that up to 1750 easily on both of these, and that would have been 5R both times you did just that move off of a location that had made a low and a retest, made a low and a retest, and got bought up from there. All the while, we were making some slightly higher lows and some lower highs here, and then we actually made a little bit of a higher high, and then still made a double top and came back down. But the initial move coming, flying down into 1665 was a great place to just let this build, let this momentum build, and then to get in bearish here. And this is where it's looking like it's going to bounce. And the next thing you know, you got a little bit of a gap and a breakdown. You got a retest to the low on this candle, and you just continue to flush lower. So let's look at this candle at 950 and see what price we could have gotten in on a retest with puts. So that was 950. That was here. So that was after it broke out, it retested. So this is the 1650 put. And yeah, that would have been really expensive, but that would have been a clear breakout and a retest and a continuation. I was trying to buy, oh, it wasn't even this one. I got the wrong one, maybe 1600. Let's look at the 1600. Maybe 1625. I'm just not sure which put it was from this morning. It looked like that, maybe. No, the volume's not there. I'll have to go look at my virtual account and see which one it was I was trying to trade, because I'm not seeing the value of this. Thought I was setting up with, oh, you know what? No, it was this one. It's right here. I was trying to buy 13 something by 12 something and trying to get, I saw this low form in here. I liked that it pulled right back into the values from Friday. And while I was getting this loaded up, it didn't fill. It gave some issue with the virtual account. So anyway, I missed that. And this would have been, I would have been getting in like 13, whatever the 1310, 13 or 14, and held that all the way like to 28, 30, somewhere in there. Would have doubled the option in 15 minutes. Would have been crazy to have actually been filled on that with, a cash account or with a virtual account. Either way, it would have been pretty cool. And then this just chopped sideways. I mean, chopped decently. It moved around quite a bit. It could have been buying this low and held for 5 minutes. It would have, had a gain. Reloaded here. Had you seen this candle form? Now the range on this is $2. So, maybe you didn't get a great risk reward, or maybe you're looking at a different option. So if we're looking at the 1600 now, so we're moving the direction, moving lower. So you got to go out a little further. So the 1600. So we actually made a slightly lower low here than here. This one's low was 1135. This one's low is 1112. So could have been filled by like 1150 anywhere in here by 1050, and that would have worked nicely for a huge gain, more than double the option there. Or I guess 1150. Yeah, just about double. Easily gained 10 hour. This just moves straight up on the call. I'm sorry, on the put. And on the stock, we actually moved mostly straight down, had this candle retest a little bit, and then chopped in here. And then this was kind of the short-term retest of this low. This was the longer-term retest. And then we got a little more choppy. We got this double bottom in here, came back up, looked like we were going to come back up to 1665, didn't get there, and then kind of retested, what we didn't get up to here. So if we go look at the 145 put, the put at 145, that's right here, didn't quite get a move back down as much as, just about a half an hour earlier. But the lows here were around 12, and this was a low around 13. So you could have been buying 13 by 12 and just held on to that into the close. Or you could have been getting ready for, it to reject this level and had your setup a little bit lower and missed the trade. Maybe you were getting set up 1150 by 1050 again, and that just didn't fill here or here, and you missed it. And that's possible too. But recognize the opportunity on this kind of thing is so huge. Overall, I see this as a quick move and then mostly a consolidation day. We ended up having relative lows and relative highs from, kind of midday. Definitely lower highs overall. If we zoom out, we can see we've definitely pulled back. The rally that we had, we've mostly retraced. Even after hours today, we're almost back down into our 1617.54 price. And we just chopped around in this no man's land all day, which is similar to what we did, through here, which was that Tuesday last week, where we just came up to this level, came down almost to this level. We just started way up here. So we're in this no man's land and quickly got into this no man's land. And, there weren't any real clear values to go off of. The low that we came down to here didn't really resonate with anything here, didn't really get into the double bottom we had here, or the values we pivoted at here. So really it's just a matter of trailing your stop and knowing when to take some profits when it's moved so fast, so far so quickly, and just being able to lock something in. So I hope that folks were able to lock something in today on the bearish side. We're pretty clearly pulled back. I was going to say we've pretty clearly reversed some here. So this is just like I didn't expect, this high to be taken out, and we did it here. This was kind of a secondary move up. We almost got this high cleared, but still overall we're making lower highs. This was a relative, but lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We'll just have to wait and see, okay, are we really going to pull back way down here? Or is this enough of a retest from this gap that we've closed, that gap, and now we're going to start to bounce. So, I like this candle, the size of this candle, kind of crossing both these no man's lands. And I'm trying to look back, there's not really a similar candle that straddles two ranges like that. Maybe a candle like this, but it's not the same lines, not the same area. We had some of them in here through one range. This one just plunged through a bunch. Maybe this candle here, where we got into both these no man's land after so kind of a bearish retest. And this is a bearish retest here. So that's similar. And then after that candle here, we went sideways for just about a week in that range. So if we do that again here, go sideways for a week in this range, we could have paused enough to start to rally there. So, but it's not out of the question we'll continue on lower. So really, I don't know. And having a plan for what we're going to do, if we're going to stay in this range, if we're going to bounce back up here, if we're going to pull back some more, we'll reevaluate each day, and we'll see what we can figure out from what the candles are doing. This has a little more of a bearish slant. That's kind of what I'm thinking, maybe more of a pullback. But if we end up gapping up into this range tomorrow, we'll be trapping all the bears in here. And this isn't like a horribly bearish day. Looking at the 5-minute, you have some initial candles, 3 5-minute candles in a row that are bearish, and then quite a few more through here. But you got a lot of bullish candles in a row, and a lot of bullish candles in a row, and just a lot of choppiness. That's why, aside from the open being so bearish, the rest of the day was pretty much chopping around and just had a higher range that it was doing that with. So, we'll revisit tomorrow and see where we go. And in the meantime, I hope this helps your analysis on Amazon. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Justin Amazon. Thanks.